The worst part about going to this gym, while it is included with my employment, it's down a flight of stairs. So you always have to remember to leave yourself just enough energy so that you can actually make your way out. And with that, my workout is complete. And actually, that is 3 days in a row now that I've gotten in my workout. I actually had something really exciting happen today. I got to meet with a dietitian, also provided through my work, which is awesome. I know a lot about nutrition, but she was able to give me more of a professional opinion on nutrition because I'm not a professional, you know? It's like I work in IT, so you would go to me for your IT questions. Well, when it comes to health, who do you go to? You go to a dietitian because that's who's in the field, right? That's what I've been up to today. Workout, and dietitian. But yeah, we're gonna have meetings every now and again just to kind of go over what I'm eating and just kind of review. And basically, I'm gonna have a friend that is watching my nutrition with me, and we get to troubleshoot together. So that's cool. That's dang cool if I do say so myself. Guys, life is good right now, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident, but a little worried because, I mean, you know, this last year I really reduced my calorie intake. I'm down to 1,800 calories right now. And I knew, like, I had this pit in my stomach going to the dietitian today. I'm like, she's going to tell me that I need to increase my calorie intake. It's coming. I know it's coming. And the thing is, like, doing my calculations online, I knew that I was really undercutting my calories. I even was able to guess the number that she was going to come up with after she did all her calculations. I was 50 calories off. It was 2,850 to 2,950 is the range that she gave me to stick within right now. And this is all trial and error. And honestly, a lot of what she said, I clicked with. I understood. And she explained the process to me. And as she was explaining the process to me, it was like, holy crap, this is like kind of what I've been doing just on my own for so long. But I think it'll be good to have a helping hand along the way to keep me focused. Because as last year goes to show, I kind of went off the deep end. I think what happened last year was I just wasn't giving stuff enough time. And I was looking for things to go faster to get me out of some kind of slump that I was in. And because I was so impatient and I didn't continue with things, I derailed myself every so often. And so what happened was I was doing this whole, I'm losing weight and then I plateau, and then I'm losing weight and then I plateau. So the lesson to be learned from this is basically give yourself some more time, give your body some time to adjust and to get used to the routine that you're setting up, and have some trust in the process. And know that even if that scale goes up, you learn something. And that's kind of what this whole process is about. It's about learning something. And I'll tell you what, I have learned so much on this journey. While sometimes I still feel like my old self, I can still look back and see how much I've actually learned and implemented within my life. Telling James 3 years ago that he would have been trying a plant-based diet, no meat, and has kept up with it for over a month now, he would have laughed. He would have said, that would never happen. I would never do that. But I've learned so much along the way, and I've grown so much as a person that it just kind of progressively happened. And that's kind of like the whole thing. It's progressively learning and growing as an individual. Progressively learning and growing as an individual. I've had several requests in the comments over the past couple weeks asking for the food that I'm eating and maybe to kind of review some of it in one of my videos. I've been kind of hesitant about sharing the food that I eat, and that's because honestly it changes quite often. I really adjust what I'm eating based on whether or not it's working for me, and I typically like to give a meal like 2 to 3 weeks to really see if it's making an impact on me or not, whether that's a positive impact or a negative impact. But ultimately it comes down to, we each kind of have to individually find the meals that are going to work best for us. And so I've been hesitant at putting my stuff out there because I don't want you to think that, like, if you follow this meal structure and you follow this plan that I've set up, that you're going to lose weight. And even when it comes down to taste, I know some people, taste matters a lot more to them than it does to me. My mindset has been changed in that facet, and I've come to like this understanding that food is fuel, and it's not always just meant to be something tasty, right? So if something's not like the best tasting, I'll still eat it because it's what my body needs. That being said, here is one of my meals that I have quite often, and I guess it's of my own creation because I just, like I said, I look at the nutrition labels and I try to make stuff that will fuel my body and is tolerable to my taste buds. So here is what I guess I will call spaghetti slaw, spicy spaghetti slaw. On this night in particular, I decided to have some rice with my spaghetti slaw as well, just because I needed some extra carbs. So I put that on separately in a rice cooker and waited for it to complete. When it comes to the main dish, I throw some water in a wok and I throw it on the stove. I get that to kind of a warm temperature, and then I start adding my vegetables. And you can really add any vegetable to this that you like, but my main two components that I used this night was broccoli slaw, which you can find at basically any grocery store. And then I found this like super blend that I decided to just add a little bit of that as well. And I know that had like some kale, some Brussels sprouts, some carrots, some cabbage, stuff that I typically wouldn't eat just on its own. But I throw that all into this wok and I let it steam for a bit. And again, this is another option, and I know that you may not want to use some sort of meat substitute, but I have these tofurkey sausages. They're Italian sausages that I like to add. So I just chop those up into slices and I add them to the dish. And I feel it just adds a little bit more substance, and it also gets a little bit more protein in for me because it is a substitute, that I can beef up the dish a bit. So I let the vegetables get steamed up and cooked for a bit, along with the sausages that are in there, just to get nice and warmed up, and also to let kind of that water evaporate off the bottom. Something I also add is just maybe some sort of spice. I found this like Italian herb one, garlic and herb, that I just kind of sprinkle over the vegetables and let that kind of soak in as well. It just adds a little bit more flavor and makes it taste a little better overall. Once the vegetables have been properly cooked, that's when I kind of make a hole in the circle, and I make sure most of the water is evaporated, and then I add the sauce, the marinara sauce. For this size of dish, I think I used 3 servings, which is a cup and a half of sauce, and once that's kind of warmed up a bit in the middle, I mix it all together, and that is your dish. If you don't want it to be spicy. Now, if you're looking for a little bit of spice like me, I add just a little bit of sriracha sauce. I drizzle that over the top, and you kind of just make it to whatever you like spice-wise, and mix it together. And that is your dish, your spicy spaghetti slaw. Anyway, I hope this was helpful and really informative for you to see kind of how I think about food, and also just if you want to give this meal a try, you can try it yourself. It's pretty basic. I try to keep my meals pretty simple to prepare and make, just because I want to use my time efficiently, and honestly, I'm not a big fan of cooking. I do it out of necessity. So, yeah, that's spicy spaghetti slaw. With that, I think it's time to go over to the weigh-in. Well, it's that time of the week again. Time to go get weighed. This week and last week have gone really well, and I've actually really kept up with going to the gym and staying active. For the first time, I think ever, I've gotten 6 days in where I've actually gotten a workout in. Yesterday, I actually got to run with Andrea and my mom for a bit, and we ended up going 3.33 miles. So I completed a 5K yesterday, and yet I'm feeling pretty good today. I don't feel all that sore, and I think that's because I've been consecutively keeping up with my workouts day after day after day after day. So that's pretty awesome. When it comes to food, there is an update on that. Like I said earlier, I met with the dietitian on Wednesday. Per my dietitian's recommendation, I have increased my calories again, and I'm going off of the macros and the calorie intake that she has set for me. A part of me is really scared in doing that because that bumps me up 1,000 calories, like just over 1,000 calories actually. I'm now sitting at 2,850 to 2,950 calories in a day, and that's a lot of food. I have actually physically been having a hard time eating that much food. And I think a big part of that is because I am eating primarily plant-based. So to get my calories in, I'm having to eat large portions of vegetables to actually sustain that calorie intake. Yeah, that's basically all that has been going on when it comes to my health and nutrition. So the only thing that's left to kind of monitor in there would be my weight loss. And it has not been so great. But that's part of the reason that I kind of went in to go see a dietitian, was because I noticed that once I went back to the gym 2 weeks ago, I saw the scale go and do this again, where it flatlined. And every time I go back to the gym, I swear I see that same exact result, where I just see the scale just level off. And I could not get past like 385, I think was the lowest I got on my scale at home. And then it's just been hovering between 385 and 390. Like, it's just been doing this move the whole time. And so that's why I met with the dietitian on Wednesday, was I wanted to get another professional's opinion and to have someone who can kind of coach me along the way. Don't be afraid to go and reach out to others for help in this process. I know it's weird coming from me, because I am such an independent person, but that's something I struggle with too, is I don't typically like to reach out for help because I want to accomplish it on my own. I want to do it on my own, but it's not a weakness to reach out to someone and to seek guidance or another opinion. That's not a flaw. I think it can just help us in our process. So don't be afraid to reach out. With all that being said, well, let's just go see how I did this week. Yeah, so here's the deal, guys. Last week, when I've been weighing at home, my weight has just been stagnant, right? Like, it hasn't moved at all. And so I went in to see the dietitian, and she assured me that even though I've increased my calories to 2,850, that I will see an increase. So I think that's what we're seeing here, is that increase, and then we'll see it start to go down again, because my body is basically adjusting to that new calorie intake, and it's like, oh look, we have calories to use again, and we can store a bit of that, and just in case we need to use it later, rather than, you know, burning what I already have. So I'm not too concerned with that result. I was kind of expecting it, to be honest, and in all reality, I really haven't lost or gained. I'm kind of sitting at the same spot I was 2 weeks ago, but with a healthier plan probably set up for me, since I'm now eating the calories that I should be eating. And I think something to really take away from this week is that, or these past 2 weeks even, I've been so much more active and I feel so much better, right? So the fact that I was able to run 6 days in a row here, and I've been doing weightlifting and all of this activity, right? I've been able to keep up with it. And I think that really speaks and says something to my situation. So even though the scale hasn't moved, I've been moved. I've been moving, right? And that's really what's important, is staying healthy and making those choices, and knowing that eventually the scale will follow suit. So that's where I'm going to leave you guys this week. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, you guys have a wonderful week.